Okay, so my presentation is on the love for a game, a presentation on the components of hockey. What is hockey? Ice hockey is a team sport played on ice in which two teams of skaters use sticks to shoot a hard rubber hockey puck into their opponent's net to score points. Hockey is a fast-paced physical sport played with 3 periods, 3 forwards, 2 defense, and 1 goalie on the ice per team. Hockey is Canada's #1 sport. How do you win? The team with the most points at the end of the game is the winning team. Therefore, the objective of the game is to score more points in the game than your opponents and to have fun. So here I have this is a ice surface, and the dots and circles that you see around the ice, which are appointed, are where players would line up to have a face-off to begin the play. The 2 blue lines are 2 lines that start the mark of each team's end kind of thing, and the goal line is which the 2 lines the players must get the puck within that blue crease in order to score. So in hockey you have to wear equipment, and in order to participate in a Canadian hockey game you must wear the following pieces of licensed equipment: a helmet, a neck guard, shoulder pads, pants, a gill, stick, 2 skates, 2 elbow pads, 2 shin pads, team socks, a team jersey, and 2 gloves. In hockey, there are different positions. So a defensive player's primary responsibility is to prevent the opposing team from scoring, where a goalie's, whose chief duty is to prevent the puck from crossing the goal line and entering his or her net. A forward's primary responsibility is to score and assist goals. They can consist of a center, right wing, or a left wing. And there's a coach, someone in charge of training an athlete or a team. Next I'll be talking about team. There is no I in team is a famous quote used for many different team sports, but the typical roster size of a hockey team is 20 players, 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders. Being part of a hockey team helps you build skills like sharing, teamwork, awareness of weakness, awareness of strengths, the ability to control oneself, for instance, when you lose or when you win, and penalties. Teammates within your hockey team show you the skill of having someone to depend on, for instance, a defenseman backing another one up when they are caught up in a play, or a forward heading in for a rebound after their teammate has attempted a shot at net. The next thing I will be talking about is friends. Being part of a 16 to 20 person hockey team means that you have a 16 to 20 new best friends for the new hockey season. These people easily become your great friends because of the multiple days at the rink for practices and games. Tournaments would be a lonely weekend without your teammates to hang out with while you're out of town for the weekend. Your team is your family. Look out for each other, practice together, and play together. On a hockey team, you and your family win together and you lose together. Being a part of a hockey team is a great way to meet new people and start new friendships. You could potentially be on the same hockey team with someone for multiple hockey seasons. The next thing I'll talk about is exercise. One of the biggest components in becoming a successful hockey player is exercising and practicing. Yes, your team is entitled to games and practicing and possibly even drawline, but these team events can only get you so far. Many successful hockey players didn't just make it to where they are because they showed up to practices and games. Those players put continuous hours in at the gym, shooting pucks, passing, stick handling, all at home on their own time. These kind of tasks show dedication and the interest in improving to become the best they feel they can be. Next I'll talk about rules, more specifically penalties. So there is minor penalties and major penalties, and this slide is about minor penalties, which are the length of 2 minutes and are the most common in a hockey game. These being tripping, holding, hooking, slashing, spearing, elbowing, kneeing, and checking from behind, high sticking, cross-checking, interference, and roughing. So these penalties are the major penalties. These penalties can result in more than a 2-minute discipline. Mostly they consist of full-out fights, boarding, head contact, charging, and in the last side I mentioned hitting from behind, but this can also be put into major penalties, and these penalties can result in a game suspension and further consequences. So now I'll talk about the competitive versus recreational component of hockey. There is house league, which is 1 to 2 times a week, where all players each see equal ice time. Each team is appointed equal players, and at the beginning of the season they will go to evaluations and they will be ranked A, B, or C, and each team will have an equal amount of A, B, or C players. In house league there are 1 out of town tournament. There is less of an interest, but there also could be the same amount of interest but not have the skill level to be able to play on a competitive hockey team. In house league there are under 5 practices a year, and the initial cost to play house league is $500 a year, whereas competitive is 5 to 6 times a week. The better players on the team see more ice time. For instance, if you're on a power play, meaning that the other team has a penalty, so it's 5-on-4, you must make the team to play on a competitive hockey team, and all these players have a higher skill level. For competitive, there are 6 to 7 rather than 1 out-of-town tournaments. Players are here to improve and win. These players play for a provincial showdown at the end of the season, where all of Ontario's hockey teams play off and they win the best Ontario hockey team. In competitive hockey, there are 3 to 4 practices a week, and the other 2 days being games. Their coaches will organize dry land for them once a week, and the initial cost for this is $4,000 plus extra costs for hotel rooms, buses, and you must pay for tryouts and be elected back to second tryout, third tryout, etc. until you've made the team. So next I will talk about the provincials. They're held in Toronto every year, although one year they have been held in Ottawa, but mainly the more they get held in Toronto because of the rinks and the easy accessibility. The teams work and practice all year for this event, whereas in house league they end up in a playoffs at the end and they finish after playoffs. For Ontario girls hockey teams, they have to have a playoff, but the winner of that playoff gets to go into the provincials. It is called the Ontario Women's Hockey Championships, and if you're in the midget AA division and you win your finals, you will advance to the nationals, where all the other provinces will compete to win the National Cup. Next, I'll talk about my hockey life. I've played hockey for 15 years and counting. I've played both recreational and competitive levels. I've played 3 years with the Sault Ste. Marie Wildcats, which is a competitive level hockey team, and 3 years at the Thunder Bay Queens Showcase. I've played all positions, including goalie, defense, and forward. I have attended 6 years at the OWHA Provincials, and unfortunately won none of them. My favorite sport is hockey, and my favorite hockey team is the Detroit Red Wings. So these are just some pictures from my hockey experiences. Up in the top left is me. We scored a goal and we ended up winning the hockey tournament. We came first place, and beside that picture it was picture day. I spent 3 years on the same team with these girls, so like I said before, you could potentially play on the same team with some girls for like many different years. And down at the bottom picture is a picture of my hockey team winning an out-of-town tournament in International Falls in October of 2012. Here's some more pictures. This one, the very top left one, is me after getting a minor penalty. This team is the Thunder Bay Queens, along with the other pictures that I've already showed. The second one is me playing, and the third one is also me playing and potentially going to hit someone. Down at the bottom is me playing in Adam, and that is the youngest hockey division, as it goes Adam, Pee-wee, Bantam, Midget, and that was probably like 7 or 8 years old. And the next picture over is winning another championship on a hockey team I played for in Sault Ste. Marie. Are you still not sure about hockey for the following reasons? You don't know how to skate, shoot, pass, stick handle? Well, there's no need to worry. There are many different options to learn. Outdoor rinks are a great way to learn all of these aspects, but they also offer camps like power skating, hitting camps, shooting camps, stick handling camps, etc. Don't be discouraged because you're not the best at these components, because the more you practice, the more improvement you'll begin to see. So these are some famous hockey quotes that I've used as motivation, or many hockey coaches have said to me at team practices, to so forth and go on. So practice makes perfect, but I've also heard the quote as perfect practice will only make perfect. A good hockey player plays where the puck is. A great hockey player plays where the puck is going to be, by Wayne Gretzky. And you miss 100% of the shots you never take, by Wayne Gretzky. And every day is a great day for hockey, by Mario Lemieux. In conclusion, hockey is a very fun, fast-paced, physical sport loved by many people, especially Canadians. With many rules, the objective of the game is to win by scoring more points than the opposing team. While doing so, you are being part of a team, making friends, exercising, and enjoying a hobby. Hockey is a wonderful sport, and if you were unsure of hockey before, I hope my presentation has helped you to gain the knowledge and hopefully a liking for the game of puck.